What is up, everyone? I hope you are all safe and doing well. Now, some of you have been DMing, WhatsApping, calling, and messaging about this issue. So without any further ado, let's talk about how this ranking system will work. Firstly, so that I make this clear from the very get-go, the explanation that I'm about to run through may or may not apply to your school or center, as they could also be adopting differing methods to implement this new strategy. I'm only going by what I've been informed from my lengthy conversations with the various exam boards. I have also already explained how the ranking system effectively works in my previous video on exam updates, which I put a link up above, so make sure you go and check that out, as that video puts a lot of things into context and has some vital information that can help allow you to understand what is taking place. So let's start off by what we as a center are meant to do. Well, we have been told to use all of the evidence that's available to us to determine you with an estimated grade for each subject that you have been studying towards. Evidence, as I previously mentioned, can be in the form of mock tests that you've sat, any coursework that you may or may not have completed, classwork and homework, and your general progression throughout the years. Teachers have been told to use their professional judgment, that's if you even believe they have one, to estimate these grades as to what you, the candidate, would have most likely have gone on to achieve should you have sat the actual exam papers. So once again, these are not the same as a predicted grades.
So for example, if we click on a student's folder, you can see all of the work that we have collected along with their percentages that they've got. We can choose any of these, it will open. We can see that we've got the marked work for each of these, and then this is true for every single file that we have on record.
So you can very well see, as a center, we have already been working to compile a series of evidence to ensure that our estimated grades reflect the true accuracy of what our students here at A-Team would have gone on to achieve. I can't really speak for other schools or centers out there, but as a private center, we have been conducting regular assessments and mock exams throughout the year. That has allowed us to be in a position where we know very well what grades our students are likely to achieve. And this is why we can draw upon a range of differing sources that enables us to come to a reasonable conclusion. Also, for those of you that are genuinely stuck, if you get in touch with us, maybe DM us on Instagram, we'll try and help you out as best as we can. Also, on a side note, and this is why I've been a firm advocate of doing mock exams, not to go off on a tangent here, but mock exams are not always about getting the top grades, neither are they about you trying to achieve the very best possible grade. Mock exams are a way of seeing where you're at that given moment in time, and it can actually work in your favor if you allow it to, as it gives you a realistic impression of what you need to be doing to go forward. And far too many students don't want to face up to that reality, or feel as though it will dent their ego and try and avoid mock exams altogether, or don't take it seriously enough. And this is why some people may feel that this system is going to be unfair due to their performances in these exams. Once your subject teachers have established estimated grades will be, we will then have to rank students in order of the strongest performer to the weakest. So let's say for maths we are awarding 10 students with grade 6s, then we have to systematically rank each student, with 1 being the strongest and 10 being the least likely out of that group of 10 students. Bear in mind, if we can't rank or award a student a grade, we can also opt to leave that out, meaning those students are unlikely to get a grade from this series and will likely have to undergo another sitting at a later date. Now, having said all of this, I can already see a number of students being adversely impacted by this, and I've started to shift my own feelings towards this new process. You know, I've tried to really think about it, pros and cons of all of this, and it's been a few weeks since this has been announced, and initially at first I gave it the benefit of the doubt, but now as I pondered about it, I've come to realize that this system is not going to be fair for all, and I'll go through my reasons as to why. Since I've graduated, I've been and worked in a ton of secondary schools and sixth forms across the country, and I can tell you straight up that each school operates very differently from one to another. What one school does as a mock or a classroom assessment is a world of a difference to what another will do. Some choose to make up their own assessments, whilst others use previous year's past papers. Some places will barely even test their students, whilst you have other places testing their students several times a year. The point that I'm trying to establish is that the standard of mock tests conducted from one school to another varies in so many different aspects that this is why I think it will be unfair from a holistic point of view, in the sense that this year's results will no way, in my opinion, reflect the true picture of what this year's cohort should have attained. And I know that sounds a little bit harsh, and I don't want to be scaring a lot of you out there. I'm trying to paint a somewhat accurate picture of what's taking place. There is no doubt that some students will gain advantages from this, but there will be, in my opinion, huge mismatch of grades for a number of students, especially for those that have historically not performed so strongly and are trying to get better grades. I know they said they're bringing in several factors to standardize the scores, but like I said, schools vary from one place to another. Assessments quite clearly vary from one place to another. And lastly, how are you supposed to get all of that right in a matter of a couple of months? I could potentially go on and on about the system, but like I said, I'm not here to be complaining, even though I know it may be coming across that way. I'm trying to be very open, and I'm looking at everything and thinking to myself in terms of how all of these new systems that are being devised, and in such a relatively short period of time. My question is, and I'm trying to speak from a logical point of view here, would it not have wasted a lot less energy, time and resources and save everyone from this uncertainty that we're facing if exams just got pushed back a little bit later, like maybe in September, to allow everyone enough time, and that way students would know where they're standing, teachers will be more invested in the lessons and not have to go around themselves in this state of hysteria. The government could have invested more time, effort and resources into speeding up the marking process, and then if needs be, shift sixth form and uni start dates to a later date to accommodate for the changes that are taking place, instead of introducing what will definitely go down in history as a controversial move. Look, if you agree with me, then drop us a thumbs up, and if you don't, then share your thoughts down below, and let's see just where everyone stands on this. And also, don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button, as I will be bringing more updates on this situation as soon as something comes out. I hope you enjoyed this one. My name is Amin, and I will catch up with you another time.